Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I remain your host Agu Joseph. So in this video I'll be sharing with you the whole process involved in creating this party flyer design in few simple steps. Okay, please, if you're coming across the channel for the very first time, this is a graphic design channel, and if you're interested in graphic design, do well to smash the subscribe button and turn on the post notification bell to get post notification whenever we upload new content. And for our returning subscriber guys, thank you guys for always watching. And without further ado, let's dive into the design phase. So the first thing we have to do is to create a canvas on which we'll be designing on. So I'll click on new file, and here we'll be designing we'll be creating a design that we'll use across social media platforms like Facebook and among others. So I'll set my unit of measurement in pixels, 1080 by 1350 to be precise. Every other settings should be set as follows: resolution 300, color mode RGB. You can then choose to give your project a name. You can choose to call this party and leave other settings and click on create. Here we have the canvas. So the next thing I'd like to do is to bring in the resource files I'll be using to create this design. So guys, here are the resources I'll be using to create the design, and I would like you to take a good look at this image, and you notice that the quality of this image is not as sharp as it should look like. Okay, and this was used in creating another design. So I basically downloaded this from the web. So in order for me to sharpen the look or to improve the look of this, I had to use an AI tool to improve that from this to this. Okay, so and I've created a video on how to go about that, making use of an upscaling tool called freepik.com /Picasso /image. Please check the link on the video description. You'll find the link to this platform, and I've already created a video. You will see it pop up on your screen. I've already created a video on how to use this platform to upscale any image without any hustle. So do watch out for that video, or do watch the video to understand how to use this website to upscale any image of your choice. So let's dive into the design. So over here I would like to convert the image to a smart object. At the moment you can see it's already converted to a smart object when I hover my mouse around this edge. Okay, so the main essence of converting the layer to smart object is to maintain the image resolution. Okay, so that's it for that. So I'll hit Ctrl T and hold out, scale out perfectly well, and take this down like this to fit into my canvas. That is for the first step. Ctrl 0 to fit to screen. That is for this. So moving on, I have to select the background layer, head over to adjustment and click on gradients. Expand the gradients and you have the gradient editor over here. So over here I've created a preset of gradients I'll be using. On this end I'm using a value of black, full black. 0 is the hex code, while on this end there is hex code to the value of yellow I'm using. Okay, while the opacities of each of these anchor points basically of each of the slider basically has an opacity of 100 respectively. So there is no scale down in terms of opacity. Click on OK, set your style on linear, angle on 90, scale should be on 100, and we are good to go. So click on OK. So if I turn off this, you have this looking like this. Okay, so turn on the image and change the blending mode of the image to, let me see which works. Okay, I think this works perfectly well in terms of this. So after we are done with this, I can go ahead to basically add a layer mask to this. Okay, pick my gradient to the keyboard shortcut is G. So I'll just left click and drag out this way, Ctrl Z. Okay, make sure this is set on linear. You have selected this and change your gradient style to black and white to be precise. So I've set this on black and white, or you can just choose to set it on black totally. Click on OK. So I'll just drag out like this. You can see that this end is actually faded out. So that is in terms of that. So I think we are good to go. The next thing has to do with adding more depth to the image. The image is so flat. So how do I go about adding depth to this? I head over to selecting the layer of the image, heading over to filter and applying a camera raw filter. So over here on the camera raw, this is before and after. I'll have to start with the basics. Okay, please, there are no rules governing this. This is more of an eyeballing situations. So you have to be using your eyes to actually guide you properly in terms of this slow and steady. You watch and make adjustments if be needed to any of these adjustments here. The shadows as well need to be taken down. The white as well needs to be taken down a little. The black as well need to add more highlights to the blacks. Okay, scale this down a little. Textures should be enhanced as well. We need more details in the face of the subject. Likewise, increase clarity, and scroll down and head over to details. Increase this to around let me see, this works, and increase noise reduction to around this. Okay, so you can see before and after, and click on OK. So we have our image looking like this. You can see that the image has more details on it. So the next phase has to do with placing of other design elements. So before doing that, I would like to group my layer so that my layer will not be too much on this design. So I'll select the two layer, holding shift, hit Ctrl G, double click on it and call this BG, which basically stands for the background. And moving forward as well, I'll need to also add guides. So I head over to view guides, new guides layouts. Okay, I think I need to make adjustments to the following. Okay, so I can set this to around 5%. Okay, this can be set on 5% as well, 5% respectively, 5%, 5% all the way. So I think we are done with that. We click on OK. So in whatever we are going to place in here shouldn't exceed this, to make sure that all our elements are well aligned and positioned. Okay, so moving on, we'll start bringing in other elements. So I will start with the theme or the headline of the event. Okay, for this I made use of the font called Nexa, and under the font style of heavy, to be precise. That is in terms of me doing that. The same font, I use different style. Instead of using heavy, I used this. So do well to also check the video description. You'll find the link to this as well. Okay, for the booking text as well, I made use of another font called Gotham. Okay, you can see it clearly, Gotham, and this is set on medium. That is for info. This was also used, Gotham was also used, and this is set on light. That is in terms of that. And what else did I do here? I also add more details in terms of using the character panel. I spaced out the size of the text. Okay, using the character panel. So moving further, I also spaced out this text by using the tracking tool here, to be precise, to also space out the text. That is in terms of that. For this, I scale down the size and return the tracking to 0. Moving on, I also created this called the width. Okay, I made use of a font called Orthography. Why for this, I made use of another font called Gotham for this. Basically, for this as well, I made use of the rectangle to create it. Okay, so I created a rectangle of this using my property panel. Please, if your property panel is not here, you can enable it from this end. Okay, likewise your character panel, you can enable your character panel, enable your property panel. You have those panels over here. So all you have to do is, maybe yours might even come with a fill. So all you have to do after creating the shape is to come to fill, turn it off, and give it only a stroke, and set your stroke size to around 1 pixels. Head over to your properties and come over here, make sure the layer is still selected, and add curve. Okay, when you add curve this way, you have this shape looking like this. So that was how I created this, and that was how I achieved this. Okay, so what else? The date. Okay, for the date as well, here's the date, and I achieved this using another font, that is the Nexa font for this. Okay, I made use of Nexa for this as well, and using the style of extra light. That is in terms of that. For this as well, I made use of the same Nexa, but this is called heavy. So in order for me to place this around a part, that is this particular text around a part, all I had to do was to create a shape. Okay, so I created an ellipse. Okay, right click, select an ellipse, just drag out like this, holding shift to create a proper ellipse. Pick your text tool, move your mouse around the circle. When you move around the circle, you notice your mouse pointer changes from this to something like this. Can you see it? So all you have to do is to left click and paste in your text here. So after you are done pasting in your text here, you can then use your property or your character panel, and let me head over to character panel. For example, I'll make use of this particular end here to shift the edges. Okay, you can see what happened when I did that. You can see that the text are going outward. You can also scale down the line spacing, that is space between each of the characters. So that was how I basically achieved this. You can also rotate the angle. If you are done with that, hit Ctrl T. You can rotate the angle, and the text will also rotate. So that was how I came about this. So you have to follow it slow and steady to achieve what you want to achieve. Okay, that is in terms of that. What else again? I placed in the club's name, making use of a rectangle, and placing in the text here. I still maintain the same font Nexa, and I think we are good to go. I still maintain the same value of yellow for this. Here is the hex code to the color. You can see the hex code to the yellow here. Okay, that is in terms of that. And I went further to add a ribbon to the design. Okay, you can know, if you look closely here, you notice that I grouped most of my layers so that my layer panel will be more neat and organized. So for this ribbon, I didn't do much. I basically used my pen to set it on shape. Okay, I set it on shape. All I had to do was uh, pick a point, left click first, come to another end, left click and drag out like this, come to another end, left click and drag out like this. Or you can hit Ctrl Z, hold Shift, Alt rather, to break the anchor point here, left click and drag out like this. Okay, so after creating this, you have your shape looking like this. Turn off the fill and turn on stroke. Okay, give it a color of your choice. You can choose a value of yellow. I can sample the yellow from here, and afterward increase the size of the stroke to around I think it was around 50 something. Okay, so I just choose to place it around somewhere here like this, and change the blending mode to, let me see, I think screen. That was what I used basically, and we have something like that over here. Okay, that was how I achieved this, to be precise. So I can change this to, let me see, soft light, and we are good to go. We have this looking like this. And finally, I placed in some sponsored logos. I got them from Google, to be precise, and all I had to do was crop their sizes and place them here. Okay, so that is in terms of that. So I think we are done in terms of this. I'll hit Ctrl H to hide my guides. And what else again? I also create contrast here by scaling up making emphasis on the actual address of the place, scaling up the size and giving it a value of yellow. That is in terms of that, and make sure that my alignment is aligned to the middle. Okay, I think after that there are nothing else to add. You can still choose to select the topmost layer here and apply our usual, the color lookup, and see which actually comes up perfectly well on your design and use them. Okay, so that is in terms of that. So ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this video. If you do find it helpful, do it to like, share and comment. Leave a comment in the comment section. If you have any question, leave your questions in the comment section. Leave your thoughts and opinion about this design in the comment section. Any design you intend you would like me to create, do well to leave a comment about that in the comment section as well. I'll work on that as well. And for my returning subscribers, thank you guys for always watching. Please, if you are new to the channel, as usual, smash the subscribe button so that you can join the community and turn on the post notification bell to get post notification whenever we upload new content. And see you in the next.